What is up, savages? It's your boy Twisty, and this is the second part follow-up to the rune selling. Now, I mentioned, sorry for the small pause. Okay, so in the last video I mentioned about selling the runes that you don't need, and in today's video it's going to be a bit more controversial, but what we're going to do is we're going to feed all the monsters that we don't need. And so I think that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, before I pick them, let's just go over the reason why I'm getting rid of these, okay? So I'm just going to make a few 6 stars during the video. Let's go into 5k one, because this is the Reefy channel, so we might as well go to somewhere. I'm just going to put prepare GZ before we do it, okay? So, as you can see, I'm also building up other 5-star, other monsters for the next 6-star as well. So, hopefully, be able to get in the 6-star. But today we're going to just do 2 6-stars. Okay. So why am I feeding Julie? Julie, she is an attack-based monster, but look at her attack, it's so low. You saw the rune change video where I put the best runes I had on Julie, and she wasn't really doing anything, so I'm going to feed her. It's kind of pointless to me. Okay, so next we've got Vigor. The only reason I had him was for Necro, and this is an example of when I tried to... I've done basically what a lot of newer players have done, and I built a monster for Necro B10. He does have some nice skills for Necro. He has a defense break. He has just a HP recovery, and he's not terrible. However, I'm not even at the stage to do Dragons B10. So without Dragons B10, I can't do Necro. Plus, he's farmable, so that gives an extra incentive for me just to fodder him. And this is why it's always crucial to never 6-star anything you might regret. Like Ammon, for example, who is sat in storage, and he's going to be in storage for a long time. Okay, next thing is Ryan. I'm feeding him as well. I haven't really got much use out of him. His base attack is so low to be used as a proper attacker. His base HP isn't that great either. He does have continuous damage, but when I can't really use him for giants because he's too squishy. And the same goes for dragons as well. Even though he has elemental advantage, it's not for me. It's not for me. Okay, the next one is going to be really super controversial, and some people are not going to like this. I completely understand your point of view, and that's why. I'm feeding her. Maybe not in this video, but in the future I will be for sure. And that is because to make this heal, she has to be squishy, and to make, basically she's an attacker. She'll be squishy normally, but my point is, this is random. Okay, her skill that does damage is random, and I don't like random skills. I feel like I just don't like it. That's why I've got Katarina. That's why Katarina's not being 6-star. She's just kind of going to sit there until I'm in the point in the game where I feel like I need her. So e.g. if I get maybe if I get Chloe, okay, it's probably not going to happen. But she's going to be sit there for a while. Next one is Suitor. I already have Perna. Although I think he's a good nuker, he's not for me. I used him with the good runes, and he wasn't really doing as much damage as I thought he was going to do. So he's not for me. I'm not going to use him. Next up is Ramgos. I'm not at the stage where I don't really use him that often, and even though he's a HP monster, he's at level 35. I don't want a 6-star Ramagos, because I can build one of these at any time if I ever need one, so I'm never worried about it. Okay, I never really use him anyway, so probably best just to feed him. If I don't use him, I'm going to feed him. Next is Shimitae. Again, this is one of the more controversial ones. His leader skill, I don't need. I have Chiwa's leader skill to do the attack speed. This is kind of meh. Glancing hit can be decent, and this does some decent damage. This does some tremendous damage, but it's single target. I'm not into shimitae. I really don't like using him, and so he's gonna get fed. Kato, same thing. I have Lucian. So, and this, all these are single target. This is multiple target, but you have to hope for RNG to proc this. And of course, since in arena you want fights to last, you want fights to go down quickly. This becomes, you never really get a chance to use this. So it's a he. Terrible. It's getting fed. Darian is actually going to get fed because I'm not at the stage where I actually need him. I don't have the proper runes to make Darian 30k HP currently, so I'm just going to feed Darian. That's kind of simple, and if I ever want to build one again, it's not going to be difficult. Next is Neil. I don't know why I awakened her at all, but basically, I'm not using Katarina, and that's the reason I was thinking, I can make a Neil and hopefully do something with it, but the more I think about it, the more I'm not going to use this combination, so Neil's going to get fed, and he's just food anyway. Okay, so let's count this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're basically on the edge of another 6-star. But the reason I'm doing this now is so I can get the rewards and then make it easier to make the next 6-star. Okay? So, I mean, I completely understand where you guys are coming from when you're thinking, oh, you shouldn't 6-star, you shouldn't, fodder hwah, you shouldn't fodder shimitae. But you need to understand that, I'm not saying that I don't. With the runes I have, hwah's great with, basically, I don't like using them. If I 6-starred hwah, I probably wouldn't use her. Same with shimitae, I would not use them. So, and the others are flammable. So, as for who we're gonna 6-star, if anyone's wondering, we are gonna go for Orion first off, and then we're also gonna do Spectra. Those are the ones we're gonna 6-star. So let's do Orion first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's just 5, isn't it? Okay. And there's Orion. Beautiful 6-star Orion there. And then of course we get all the event rewards too. Okay. And obviously it's gonna do this. Go okay. And then we go to Spectra. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there we go. So that was a double. See, it shows the double. See, there we go. That's the double. That's the double team. So yeah, that kind of just shows them off. I really wanted to 6-star both, and the reason why I'll explain. Spectre is kind of obvious for TOA and possibly Dragons B10, although the runes are kind of debatable at the moment. But I'm in triple HP, but these need kind of upgrading. But obviously as a 6-star, he's gonna look bad because of how low his HP is at the moment, but he should get better. Same with Orion. He's got some good runes on him, actually. Even though they're kind of half sets, they're pretty good runes. So Orion should be pretty cool to use as well. So yeah, I didn't actually get much GZ, but then again it was only Orion and only Spectre. But yeah, so just kind of a note to you guys. With certain monsters, I want to give a good example. Okay, so Colleen is not necessarily an example because Colleen can be useful early game as well, but like monsters like Darian, I feel people say, oh, you need to build up a Darian, and Darian is kind of more, he's not really early game because you're not going to have the good runes for Darian to do some damage. He can help reduce damage, and people say, oh, you can 6-star Darian using in Giants B10 on auto teams with Ammon and all that kind of stuff, and 6-star Ammon for that reason, and I 6-starred Ammon for that reason. And then I realised, yes, these teams auto, But when you think about it, those teams that players are saying auto, that were Darien and Ammon and Vera and Bella and Bernard and all that kind of stuff, they are like Ammon and Darien will be on Violent Runes, and you're not going to have Violent Runes as an early game player. Okay? You're not even going to have that good runes. So trying to do Giants P10 by using Darien and Ammon, it just never works. It's not going to end well. If you look at the players who use Ammon in those videos, they'll say, oh, my Ammon's not runed very well, but he will be like 25k HP, and it's pretty hard to get to that as a lower level player, especially when you can't already auto Giants P10. So you guys need to just be careful who you 6-star. I highly recommend, if you can 6-star anyone, just 6-star the support monsters. Like basically 6-star Bella, 6-star Veramos. Not support here, because like Mav, for example, will say HP, so he's really a support monster. But I won't say 6-star Mav straight away. But what I'm saying is, if you have Delph, or if you have Emma, if you have Megan, Shannon is a good example. 6-star those, okay? Maybe even 6-star Konamaya, 6-star your Spectra, because these are monsters you're going to be using constantly throughout the game, okay? Even to the end of the game, you can still use Konamaya in raids. So you want to make sure that you don't just go, oh, okay, I need nukers, I'm going to 6-star Sophia, and that's why you see Sophia there at 5-star, because I don't even know if I want to bother 6-starring her. She does okay as a 5-star at the moment, and I have Lucian anyway. It's only if there's ever a point that I actually probably need, if I feel like okay guys, I super need a wind nuker, then yeah, I'd probably build up a Sophia, but at the moment I don't really need it. So you got to 6-star the monsters that you need as well. These are the monsters that I needed for my current situation. If I want to do Necro, I'd 6-star Colleen, but I can't even do Necro yet. I can't even do Giant Speed 10. Dragon Speed 10, I mean. I can do Giant Speed 10, that's pretty easy. But just want to show you guys, and we're also building up our fusion for Miken. That's how you pronounce it. So yeah, I hope you guys kind of enjoyed the video. I completely understand if you had a dislike because of foddering hwah and foddering shimitae. But you need to understand, in my current state of the game, I know what's best for me. I know what's best for how I play, and I don't like randomness. That's why I'm almost tempted to fodder Katarina, or maybe keep her in case as food for one of the other out 5s if I ever get them. But because she's just kind of irrelevant, to be honest with you, she is kind of irrelevant. She's not relevant. I mean, she can be useful. She can do some good damage. But because it's random, I'm not very confident in relying on RNG, so I don't really like using her as much as other people do. So, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.